What is up, Bronco Country? Coming off another win against the Washington Commanders. What a game that has been. Um, as always, fourth quarter, we're trying to pull it off, right? Cadillac, or however they put it. You know what I mean? 10-2, sitting pretty, number one in the AFC West. Let's get into a couple things. I got Joe coming in here very shortly. We also have a special guest for you today, so make sure to tune in for everything Go Broncos Country. Let's get into it.
In the shadow of the Rockies where the orange burns bright, we ride with the outlaws under stadium lights. Mile high, we fly, no chains combined. This podcast a rocket and the altitude's kind.
Turn it up, let the city feel the bass. Every word's a touchdown, every beat's a chase. With a mile high OUTKAST. Broncos, we broadcast. Climbing, never falling fast. Full of mile high blast.
What's up, Joe? How you doing, Medlock?
My bad. Hey man, we're doing good. You know, like you said, another win last week. You know, hey, we keep doing it in ugly ways, but we keep getting the victory. So, you know, hey, I'm with it as long as we keep winning. You know, 10-2 sounds good to me. It's better. You know, that's how you drive safely. You know, 10-2, we just driving safe. You know.
Well, I noticed you were doing that during the post game. At first, I didn't really realize it. You're like, keep it 10-2, and I'm like, what? I was like, oh, now I get it. Yeah, 10-2, 10-2.
Yeah.
So what I will say, Joe, man, you know, it wasn't the best win once again, and you know, what our title is Vegas won't break us. I'll say that again. Vegas won't break us. How many people go to Vegas and go broke, Joe? So do you think Vegas is gonna break us?
No, we're gonna be streaking through Vegas.
Absolutely. Why don't you just get this housekeeping out of the way and let's bring our special guest on.
You got it. Well, like always, we're on the Orange and Blue Network, YouTube, Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, Facebook. We're on all the socials. So if you get a chance, like our pages there. If you're on any of the live streams, share our live stream. But we definitely want you to like on YouTube the most. But if you do it at all the different places, definitely helps us out. Get more people to get our videos in there for them to see. And we definitely got shows every day of the week. Monday and Friday, we got the Bronco Blitz with Isaiah and Bronco Yost. We got Monday with Bronco Bros. Shout out George and Dak. We got on Tuesdays, we got the flagship show, Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue. That's going to be Johnny, JT, Johnny Weaver, and Bronco Yost. And then Wednesdays, we got at 2:30, we got Bronco Symposium. And that's going to be or My High Symposium. That's going to be with Doc and JT. And then on Wednesdays, we got Lee Bray and Adon. They're going to be doing Bronco Talk. Wednesdays at 6. They also do it in Spanish on Friday at for Viva Los Broncos. So check them out both days. And then you got us on Thursdays at 7. Every week, come check us out too. Mile High OUTKAST. We got the Fresh Squeeze for breaking news. We got the pregame every hour before every game. So we get you guys hyped up for the game. We get shiced. We got the play-by-play. If you're not able to catch any part of the game, we'll give you all the info on the plays. And then we got the post-game show. And, man, both were live. It was live all Sunday night last week. So, yeah, definitely come check us out when you're done watching the game and all that. And, share your reactions with us. So now we're going to move on to our sponsor, W, Jitterless Energy Mix. So if you need that pickup without any of the jitters, they That's what you're gonna do is W. Got all fresh ingredients, no sugars, no calories, no maltodextrins, no filters, no artificial colors. So definitely very good for you, and gives you the energy without none of the jitters and all the other stuff that goes along with the other drinks. And if you do go over there and check them out, when you order, put in OBN10. That gets you 10% off your order at discount, and lets us know that we are doing what we need to do to get you guys there, and we are ready to rock and roll.
You get that W for the dub, right? Is it
W for the dub, man.
There you go. If you don't mind, Joe, I would love to introduce our special guest over here. Is that all right?
Let's do it.
All right. We got Bronco Rob in the house. What up, Bronco Rob?
What is up?
What up, fellas? Hopefully you can hear me okay. Unfortunately, I'm having technical difficulties which are outside of my control, and somebody will be getting a stern phone call in the morning.
No, you're looking good. You're sounding good. No lapse. So
I'm doing it from my cell phone. I've got my cell phone propped up here in front of me. But thank you very much for having me on the Mile High OUTKAST tonight. Appreciate it. Tim, Joe, thank you very much. Glad to be here, and looking forward to it.
Rob, before we so our title is Vegas Won't Break Us. And like I was just telling Joe before you came in, a lot of people go to Vegas and go broke, right?
Yes, sir.
What do you think about us going to Vegas? Is that gonna break us?
Nah. So here's my thoughts on Denver going to Vegas, right? We've already played the Raiders once. We beat them by a field goal. Yeah, it wasn't a pretty game. It was probably one of our worst played games of the season over a team that, let's face it, this rivalry goes all the way back to since before I was born. I was born in 86. As a matter of fact, in 1986 was one of the highest scoring rivalry games between the Denver Broncos and then the Los Angeles Raiders. I forget exactly what the score was or how many points, but I just remember that one fact that stuck out in my mind. The Raiders have struggled. They're 2-10. They're the opposite of what we are. They're the exact polar opposite. The only decent players that Vegas has is Max Crosby and maybe a receiver, Tyler Lockett, maybe.
I was gonna. Go ahead. Continue.
No, I was just gonna say, but them with the quarterback they have. I mean, look at what we did to Geno Smith in the last game. We sacked him 6 times?
Yeah,
I believe. So yeah, Denver's got to come to Vegas. Hopefully, they stay the hell out of the casinos. They just come, they ball, and they go home. But I'm only about 2 hours away from Vegas, so I've been to Vegas many times, and every time I see that stadium, they get one of these. So whether I'm driving by or what have you, but the Raiders are the Raiders, and it's always going to be a tough game. Broncos, Raiders, it's always a tough game played on both sides, offensively, defensively, back and forth. But the Raiders are, again, are extremely struggling this year. Genty, I think, only has one 100-yard game all season. And, they drafted him pretty high this last year. And, I'm not going to lie, I was nervous that they got Genty. But me personally, I'm not afraid of the Raiders this year. They don't really have anything going for him other than Brock Bowers. He made an incredible one-handed catch in the end zone, which he had no business making as a tight end. But I think our defense is gonna play them tough like they do, every time, and hopefully we'll be able to sweep them and move on to the Chiefs.
Well, on that note, when you're talking about the catch, Joe, I'm gonna take this one to you real quick, and for everyone out there, please leave a comment whether you agree or disagree. Constructive criticism is always great. We'll take any comments in. Joe, do you think the Broncos have a problem defending the tight end position?
Not more than others. I mean, we got some good linebackers, and I wouldn't say we don't need a big cornerback, but I mean, I think we're doing pretty good. You're just gonna have the tight end position is always a hard one to. It's a hard one to always maintain, to lock down. You've seen what happened with Ingram. You know, he had a good game this week. Other teams have been locking him down, but also I think we also had better plays called for him. But yeah, so the tight end position, it's not a position I am worried about, but it's just you always got to make sure you have somebody there because they could always act like they're blocking and then release. So it's a tricky position that you just always got to keep your eye on. When if you're in zone or if you have him as a man. So I'm not worried about it though. But we can pretty much cover any tight end in the league.
What do you think, Rob?
Well, just to kind of piggyback off of what Joe was saying, Evan Ingram did have one of his best games last week. 72 yards. I forget how many catches he had. And I had previously tried to go over all this on my way home today. But he definitely had a breakout game, and Sean Payton put him in plays to show why we signed him onto the team. So, Evan Ingram was brought in to be our joker, our tight end, our receiver, what have you. He's a great blocker, but he's also great after the catch. Once he gets his hand on the ball, he's good for yak every single time, it seems like. It's just a matter of getting him in the position where he can get the ball and he doesn't drop it. But Evan Ingram, I think, is definitely going to be a big key to the game this week, and hopefully Sean Payton can keep that momentum rolling that he started in the Washington game and be able to keep that momentum with Ingram going to kind of compete against Brock Bowers.
Definitely. He did look nice. I mean, I don't think he was targeted all that much, but he did come up with 2 big plays. We just got to figure out a way to account for that ability, because I think that's their only real threat. Maybe not even a real threat, just what they had during the week. Not trying to knock for what he did last week. But what do you say, guys? So Bronco Rob, the first segment we always have, man, it's called First and Tailgate. You ready to go, Joe?
Let's do it.
All right. First and Tailgate, we're coming out. So, first thing I want to talk about, we got a couple things to talk about in First and Tailgate. I'm gonna start with you, Rob. The PS2 / Singleton coming back off injuries. How do you think they both performed?
Well, PS2 is coming back from a pectoral strain injury. He said in his one of his press conferences that he was wearing a sling of some sort to help mitigate with whatever pain or stiffness he's going to have. He came back, he looked good. He obviously wasn't PS2-esque like he normally is. Our defense, that last game against Washington, I don't want to say that they played bad, but they didn't play like we're used to seeing them. They gave up a bunch of yards, especially to Zach Ertz from Washington at the tight end position, which, again, Raiders have Brock Bowers. He's a damn good tight end when he's on the field and he's not injured. So I'm a little concerned there. And Singleton, I mean, what more can you say about Singleton? The guy had, testicular cancer surgery. I don't know what that all entails. I don't know if he's, if he's rolling with one out and, he's more aerodynamic. I don't know. But, Singleton's a dog. I mean, last year, he played an entire game with a torn ACL and he didn't come off the field. I mean, that guy has more grit in his pinky than all of us combined. I think, it's only going to keep getting better, and especially for him to come back and, after the bye week and everything and be able to, be healed up and be able to be a part of that defense as a whole. I think is going to be, phenomenal. And I think it's going to be a strong test for them coming back. PS2 last year had that pick 6 in the end zone that went all the way, end zone to end zone, basically. I think it was like 99 yards or something like that. And, that was incredible. So I think having those two back out on the field combined with everybody else, I think it's going to be, a damn good game. And I think I'm hoping the defense is going to play back up to their ability and hold the Raiders to very few points. I mean, I'm not going to say I'm not going to say we're going to shut the Raiders out, because even a blind squirrel finds a nut at least once. So I expect them to at least have one touchdown at the bare minimum.
Yeah, absolutely. What about you? What do you say, Joe?
Uh, so I definitely think the Broncos need to come out with the defense is going to be on point. I'm not worried about that. Yeah, they may get a touchdown. I'm with Bronco Rob, but they're not going to get very much. When we went to the game a month ago or so, the Thursday night game. What man was a 10-9 game, right? It was like so we watched that whole
10-7, I think.
Yeah, it was a man. That was a hard one to watch, but it was fun. It's fun to be at the game, but it would have been hard to watch on the if I wasn't at the game. So I definitely think the defense is going to keep it rolling. There's I don't have any issues there. Geno Smith is doesn't move around too good no more. So definitely think we're gonna have a good day in sacks. Hopefully get a 4 or 5, and maybe even a little more. So the couple weeks ago, somebody got 10 sacks on them. So I mean, I think we just keep the pressure on them. Maybe this week we'll get a defensive touchdown or more. And I've been saying that for a while. We still haven't got it. And the offense, man, as long as we get some momentum going in the offense and don't look stagnant on too many drives, I'm gonna be happy. But yeah, like I said, I just want to see that offense keep that momentum going, and do some long drives or make some good plays, and just don't be stagnant. No 3 or 4 or 5 outs.
Yeah, what I'll say about the whole PS2 Singleton thing is you had both players coming off injuries. And like Rob said, because everyone has said that knows who Singleton is, came back after, 2-3 weeks, had a tremendous game, not only just being the Singleton hitter, but in coverage, did very well. PS2 came up, and guess who he had to guard? T-Mac, right? Scary Terry was over there running routes on PS2, and PS2 looked like PS2. What do you guys, you know what I mean? PS2 held his down. Singleton made great plays to help us win that game. I think both these players came back in a spectacular fashion after injuries to help us win that game. Because, Rob, as you know, I did the play-by-play with you. What did I tell you in the first quarter? Man, that ball by Mariota, as Jay says, was coming out. That was coming out fast, man. We're talking 1.8 seconds. We're not talking 3, man. I mean, that they had the timer on that ball. And for PS2 and Singleton to come off the injuries the way they did, you got to give it to both of them, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I want to go back to what, you and I were talking about during that play-by-play. Mariota, whatever you want to say, tomato. He was getting the ball out fast, but I feel like Washington adapted their playbook for that style to get the ball out fast.
Absolutely.
If you noticed, even in some of the clips that they had the timer on the ball, if Mariota, I'm gonna wind up saying that now every time. Mariota, if he held the ball longer than 2 seconds, there was more of an opportunity for us to either get to him or get in front of the ball and make a play. When we're looking back at the 10-7 victory over the Raiders at home, the things that kind of stick out to me just looking at some of these stats were, the Raiders' 4th down efficiency, they were 0 for 1. We didn't have any 4th downs in that game. 3rd down efficiency, they were 4 for 15. We were 5 for 15. So just looking at that alone, that tells me that both the Broncos and the Raiders are a 1st down, 2nd down, 1st down, play. Peyton Manning, there's a clip of Peyton Manning in the huddle saying 1st down, 2nd down, 1st down. That's the tempo that Denver is used to playing. But with that being said, yeah, I mean, Sean Payton's offense is more kind of drawn out, where you're trying to let the routes develop. Bo wants to go downfield, but I think Denver really needs to lean on the run game in order to open up the pass game for Bo. Bo is playing clutch football. Is he looking as good as he did last year? No, but I'm not going to sit here and say that Bo is in a sophomore slump. Bo is still learning. Bo is still developing. But it's a matter of, I mean, look at the Washington game. He had that horrible interception that went straight to Bobby Wagner. A lot of quarterbacks, that'll happen, and then they'll have, terrible play after that. Bo has that interception, goes to the sideline. Okay, I screwed up. This is where I went wrong. Bum bum. He comes back. Boom, leads the drive down the field. So in my opinion, Bo is progressing, as far as development goes. But again, the season is what the season is. We're on a 9-game win streak, and we've trailed in every single game. But the difference is Denver has pulled together offensively, defensively, and gotten the win, no matter if it's by 1 point, 3 points, or 33 points in the fourth quarter.
Well, let me go
And
another way with that real quick, Rob. So on another thing on first and tailgate, which is going to build up to what you're saying, it's about 2 players on offense. We don't have to talk about the rest, this and that. 2 certain players where I feel starting getting more involved in this offense. And if you guys don't mind, I'll go first. Is that okay with you guys?
yeah, go for it.
Okay. Ingram and Sutton. We're starting to see a little bit more out of them now. And by all means, I'm not saying Sutton hasn't done stuff all year because of his route running or his ability. They just haven't found ways to get him the ball. So between these 2 players, I'm going to go with Sutton first. You got to figure out a way to get him to it. You got to get that main receiver the ball. You got to figure that out. I know it's easier than said and done if we don't have a full running game. We haven't figured that all out. I don't want to backtrack to the running game, but get to Sutton. You got to give him jump balls in that end zone. You have to let Sutton be Sutton. You got to let him still be a leader of this team. Bo Nix has got to, I mean, he didn't really look at Franklin last week, which is surprising. But look at what he did with Ingram. He got Ingram involved. Finally. Since preseason, in my eyes, he got Ingram involved. So once you get those 2 involved, what's the old saying? You got to run it. You got to run it to open the passing game. In my eyes, it's a little different in the reverse with these Denver Broncos. I kind of feel like we got to start passing it to get that running game going. What do you take on that, Joe?
I think we got to be a little more balanced, but I mean, I don't think it's a bad thing for some games. But like the Raiders, I think we could definitely do a little bit of both. We just have to be careful of the defensive end on for them. I'm blocking, I think, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Yeah. We just got to watch out for him. And whichever way we go, but I definitely think it was good that we had for Ingram, we were getting the more movement plays. Like I was always wondering, I'm like, man, why do we keep having like as some stagnant kind of BS type of routes? Maybe Sean Payton was hiding it for a little bit. I don't know, but I'm glad we finally got these routes, because when you have these little quick movement routes where, like I said, like the one in overtime, and he did a couple of them, but man, that wasn't overtime. Perfectly what you do for tight ends or a big wide receiver. You do something where you give them a fake and then you go the other way right away. Like it's the easiest route to hit somebody and get some quick couple yards. And if you get the right space, you get a lot more plays. Sutton, same thing. We're getting him more involved. He got the touchdown this week. I was listening to a stat. He was he's one of the quickest to 6,000 yards receiving as a Denver Bronco. So even with his injury that 1 year. So he is a reliable receiver, big body. We need to keep feeding him more. So between him and Ingram, I mean, if you're going to go in the passing game and attack, those are 2 guys that should be your main targets. And then, like I said, it's not bad to have Troy Franklin and Pat Bryant either as complementary receivers, and Troutman as well. So
absolutely. What do you say, Rob, on Ingram and Sutton specifically?
Yeah, I mean, we kind of touched on it earlier.
Mhm.
Ingram finally has had that breakout game. Where he was getting more involved. He was showing why Sean Payton brought him here, why he is the joker of the offense. Sutton, I was just pulling up Sutton's stats. I mean, this year alone, he's got 50 receptions off of 80 targets for only 711 yards. That tells me that teams are double covering Sutton almost every single time, which is going to open the passing game for Pat Bryant, for Troy Franklin, for Evan Ingram,
Yep.
and things of that nature. Um, not having J.K. Dobbins is definitely a blow to Denver, but I believe that R.J. Harvey is going to pick up the slack. He's a rookie. This is his first year. It's not and
He's
he's not
figuring it
a
out.
yeah, he's not a slouch by any sense of the means. But however, Sean Payton's going to have to call his number and get him going in order to open the passing game. There's a comment here by Ed Lanyon saying, do you gents think teams are starting to figure out the Broncos defense? Seems to me they're starting to give up some big plays.
Shout
I
out
don't
to Ed. Shout out to Ed real quick. That's my mom's boyfriend. Nothing but love for you. Thanks for tuning in. But go ahead, Rob.
Yeah, no, you're good. I noticed that comment, and I don't know if it's so much that Denver is figuring, or sorry, not Denver, but teams are figuring out Denver's defense. But I think like I said earlier, they're adapting their playbooks to combat Denver's defense. I mean, Denver has a dominant defense, at least top five, if not top three, for the entire NFL. But with that being said, it's Vance Joseph's job to, see what they're doing offensively and make adjustments, whether that's, quarter to quarter or half to half. So, Denver's defense should still be Denver's defense. So, that's kind of the name of the game where, when you're playing defense, your job is to you go in there with a game plan and then you need to adjust. So, with that being said, again, Cortland Sutton, I believe, has been double teamed all year long. That's why we haven't seen much from him. But when he's given those opportunities, he's able to get open. He's able to score touchdowns. Same
Absolutely.
thing. Same thing with Evan Ingram. Sean Payton, I think, has finally figured out a way to get him involved in the offense, and hopefully, we'll be able to get R.J. Harvey involved to open the rest of the playbook for the rest of the team.
Joe, why don't you take us into a couple comments, and I'll do our last first and tailgate before we close it out.
Yeah, for sure. I'll just say shout out Ed too. It's nice meeting you this summer at Terry's house
Yeah.
or Tim's daughter's party. And yeah, I don't think they're necessarily figuring our defense out, but they're exploiting a couple of cracks, and they're hitting us at good points. So that's going to happen to a lot of good defenses. So
You can look at it both ways. Before you go into the comments real quick, if I can do my quick little take.
No.
They expose. Don't mute me, Joe. Don't mute me, Joe. Rob said it himself. That's not a Mariota thing to get the ball out that quick. We all know that, right?
Mm-hmm.
We all know that. But they schemed for that because no one has really done that. And they played that zone. They kept playing that zone because they weren't blitzing very much. They were rushing 4. And I will tell you this. It has to be a concern for Vance Joseph. It's not like it's the end of the world. But now he's got to kind of be like, okay, they kind of exposed this zone because we're rushing 4 without the blitz. So now he's going to have to come up with something because it didn't really work to the effect that I think Vance Joseph thought it would. But go ahead, Joe, with these comments.
Yeah, we got Jay Weaver coming in next. He said, "Ballers,
What's up, Jay?
What's up, man? Shout out." He said, "Hope y'all having a great night. I'm calling my shot for this week. It will be Harvey's first 100-yard rushing game. Feed the beast."
Ooh, that's a bold statement there, Jay.
You get that one for that one. I gotta. Let's see what we got next here. I think it was your Uncle Todd. Yeah, he said, "What's up, Mahi OUTKAST?" He said, "I was wondering about the defense also, but Bo is starting to use his wide receivers more and getting them more involved." Definitely.
He's right. He's kind of right on both ends, right? wondering about the defense because of the zone, kind of got exposed. And then Bo is starting to use. So it's never a perfect game, right? Where we get all the defense. Rob, correct me if I'm wrong. You get all the sacks, and then you get all the touchdown passes, and you just slaughter an opponent, excuse me, and just take him down to the house. Any thoughts on that one, Rob?
Yeah, I mean, again, this is a game of inches. Every week the game plan is gonna be different depending on the team that you're playing. But I think Denver's core on offense and defense, I think is stable. I think Denver has a very good foundation, at its core. So again, I mean, every week, Riley Moss has a PI penalty, and that's not so much as him having a bad game. It's they're throwing to Riley Moss's side every single time because Pat Surtain takes half of the field away.
Don't talk about Riley in front of Joe. It's a touchy subject.
I'm not dogging on him. I think
no, I love Riley. He calls me in the phone going, "Hey, hater," and he goes, "Oh, you had Riley's back all year,"
No, I'm not dogging on Riley Moss, but it just goes to show you, if you look at the numbers, Riley Moss is getting thrown at, probably 80% of the time. And again, teams are using that spot foul of a PI. Just run down the field, and I'm just going to throw it, and they're going to get a PI. We're going to get the ball down within the 10-yard line. And that's what some teams are doing. I mean, Kansas City did it. Patrick Mahomes just heaves the ball, and, then he just looks at the refs and goes, PI, hello. So, again, it's a game of give and take. 1 week the defense might have 6 sacks, then the next week they might only have 1 or 2. 1 week the offense might score 33 points in the fourth quarter. The next week they might score 1 touchdown, and we might win the game on a field goal. It's going to change weekly, but it's up to Denver and the coaching staff to adapt every single game plan every single week, and come out and try to get the W. Win is a win, whether it's by 1 point or 33.
Looks like we got George. What's he got to say, Joe?
What's up, my high OUTKAST and Bronco Rob? What's up? And then I don't really want to read the second part because I'm kind of jealous. He said Vegas.
yeah. This dude's going to Vegas without his brother. This is bull.
Yeah, but he's gonna go watch. He's gonna be there in the Legion Stadium watching us slay the Raiders there.
All I gotta say, George, is stay out of the casinos, brother.
Stay out of the strip clubs. Stay out of the strip clubs.
Yeah.
Nah, he can go to those all he wants. I don't care about that. Stay out of the casinos. You want to leave Vegas a winner? You stay out of the casinos. That's how you leave Vegas a winner.
And then earlier we were talking about the receivers, everything. He said, "Don't forget about Mims." I feel you, but that's the Sooner. So.
Oh yeah, no. Having Mims back is super.
That's
important.
an accurate statement, though. You know what I mean? Don't forget about Mims. I didn't see much of Mims last week, and I kind of blacked out because I was doing the play-by-play. So instead of paying attention to what everyone had, it was just the next play. So I didn't tune in to the game, Rob, as I normally would, but it was still fun. But go ahead and read that, Joe.
Yeah, and then George said the whip route Ingram ran and on Bobby Wagner and OT was disgusting. Like I said, that's one of the easiest ones, which I wasn't understanding why we weren't doing it in the earlier part of the years. Man, anytime you get something, man, like even a slant and an out, any kind of second move, real quick move, man, it's hard for a defender to guard that, So yeah, definitely. That's why I was so happy to see that.
Why don't you do one more, Joe, and then let me take us to our last and first and tailgate.
All right. I don't know if this is coach or my mom, but it says things will change during the game and we will adjust. Talking about probably the defense, like the and the offense. So yeah, definitely. That's one thing I think we're doing pretty good at is adjusting. Definitely especially on the defense. So let me do this last one.
Go ahead.
George saying Riley didn't have a PI last game, which is good. Hey, I sometimes don't mind the PI because if you're being physical, sometimes it's gonna happen. So.
Oh, now you're on that. Because I got on Fugla. So yeah, now I get.
No, I said this. I've been saying this.
No, come on, Joe. I'm just kidding.
You're the one who's been on all about Hufanga. Oh.
Hey, I'm all
He
about
did.
Riley though. When
He
you
did. He
asked him
did
to,
miss.
when you asked him to be a number one, he went and been up. He might have got a couple of PIs, but guess what? He stepped into that role. How many number two CBs in the league are going to
Can
go
do that.
take on number one receivers like that?
Yeah. As I said, I've been with him. And Hufanga did miss a couple of tackles this last game too. I was like, man, dude, you got to just wrap up. You're there, but you need to like make sure you get stop trying to get your arms out there. You need to make sure you fully grab them. So yeah, I feel
You don't want me to go on that subject yet. We're going to get into a little something about that later, but let's save that. The last thing off First and Tailgate, this one's for you, Rob.
Okay.
What about that raid?
Dude, that raid was crazy.
Can you explain to the viewers what a raid is?
So for those of you that were either with us or were not with us, me and Tim were doing the play-by-play, and just before halftime, I believe it was, a very popular YouTuber named Tom Grossi who does the podcast. Shout outs to Tom Grossi and the whole Grossi crew. Rated us, and we had over 120, 130 people in the stream, and the comments were flowing so fast. I was shocked. And like I for a half a second, I didn't know what was happening. And then I started reading all the comments and I was like, that's insanity. So that was definitely something that I'm very grateful for. Appreciate Tom Grossi and the crew. But that was pretty wild. So basically what a raid is popular YouTubers, they'll send their people over to a stream and just bounce the algorithm and just get a ton of traffic and traction. And so again, I personally want to say thank you to Tom Grossi and the whole Grossi crew. Appreciate all the love and support. And we'll be playing the Packers here pretty soon. So we'll see what happens come that game, but that's for another conversation.
So for those that don't know, Bronco Rob does the play-by-play. That's his show. I was fortunate enough to help him out this week. Johnny was traveling, but you know what, man? I'm not saying I'm glad Johnny wasn't there, but I'm glad Johnny wasn't there because it gave me a chance to get in there with you, man. And bro, from pregame to play-by-play, that happened so fast. We got to learn to cut pregame off a little, like 10 minutes earlier, because we both were like, okay, we'll be right back. And then we did, right? And you know what? What was awesome, besides the raid, is that you had George, Joe, Johnny, Jay, all of them coming in at the end. And I'm like, what? Like, bro, what a play-by-play that, for everyone that doesn't know, we can't post the game up for copyright laws, this and that. But we were calling the plays, and Joe came in at the end with his and George did, and, Jay and John. And like, man, it was just a blast. You having 6 guys on a play-by-play. And all I'm doing, Rob and Joe, is I'm trying to be like, keep calling plays. I got 5 other people trying to talk. But I think we did good, Rob. I think we did good. So thank you for that.
It was a ton of fun, and I appreciate everybody dropping in. Joe, George, Jay, Johnny.
They're all Jays. They're all Jays.
Super grateful and thankful for you guys hopping in. And that was, like I said, that was kind of a wild ending, not only to the game, but to the play-by-play. And, again, I appreciate all the support. So
quick thoughts, Joe. What did you think about the end when everyone hopped on at that play-by-play? How'd you like it?
Well, I thought it was cool. I was I tried to make sure I stopped talking when I seen a play that was coming up. So yeah, but it was definitely cool having us all there, and man, all being able to celebrate the Nick Benito SWAT down.
Okay, so before I get into Mile High memories, we're gonna talk about the winning streak. It's not just home; it's home and away, right? 9 straight winning streak, away games and home games. So being in that, we're on the road once again, going to Vegas. I know it's not what you're gonna see. You're gonna see tons of Bronco fans there, right? There's gonna be so many Raiders fans selling their tickets. And sorry if you're a Raider fan watching this, but this is the truth, because it's gonna be another home game for the Broncos, which I think this winning streak is very much deserved because there's so many people out there talking about the Broncos, this fourth quarter disgustment, this and that. And don't get me wrong, I'm not happy with it. But what I will say about this winning streak is that we have dug it out, home or away, in the same fashion pretty much. So I'm going to go with you, Joe, first. How long is this winning streak going to stay alive? So you got Raiders, Packers,
Jags.
I think Chiefs are after Green Bay.
Jags.
Oh, is it Jags? Okay.
Jags, Chiefs, and then Chargers.
How long do you think this winning streak is going to stay alive? Who's going to be the one to make us fall?
Like you said, I'm rolling with what you said last week. I'm rolling with we're going to win out to the end, and we're going to rest our players, and the Chargers are going to win because we're resting our players. So yeah, that's what I'm rolling with. It can happen. We got the talent, and like I said, once our offense gets rolling, which it hasn't gotten great rolling in many games except Dallas, man, dude, we're gonna be super dangerous. So yeah, I'm rolling with that. With what we said last week. So
I love it. I love it. I'll do a quick take. We're not losing till the Chargers, so we have to rest our players. What do you say, Bronco Rob?
All right, so looking at the schedule, do I believe Denver's going to beat the Raiders? Abso-freaking-lutely. Then we've got 2 home games against the Packers and the Jags. Now, looking at just the records alone, Green Bay's 8-3-1, so in my opinion, they're 8-4. I count a tie as a loss. I don't count it as a win. I count it as a loss. Jacksonville is also 8-4. If we're looking at Green Bay's schedule this week, they're playing the Bears. The Bears out of nowhere have become a competent team. So Green Bay really needs that game, in my opinion, to keep their playoff hopes alive. If they lose that game, they're going to come into Denver and they're going to have a chip on their shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
Jacksonville, again, 8-4 out of nowhere. Usually I've got a buddy of mine that is a Jaguars fan, and me and him go back and forth all the time about it. But he's very realistic. He's like, the Jags are going to suck it up somewhere. I'm not holding my breath for it. But, the Jags are playing the Colts this week. So, no offense, I'm kind of hoping the Colts beat the Jags. But to go back to your question, Tim,
who's going to be our downfall?
I don't want to say the Chiefs on Christmas, but I just have a sneaky dang suspicion that we're going to get screwed by the refs on Christmas against the Chiefs. And I don't like saying that, but I just have this sneaky suspicion.
I said that last week with Joe, and you're not wrong for that, but continue. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. So, with that being said, I think Denver's going to play Green Bay aggressively, but I still think we're going to come out with the win. Same with the Jaguars, and I just have a sneaky suspicion that it's going to be those damn Chiefs that are going to, that are going to ruin it. And again, if you look at it, the Raiders are already eliminated from the playoffs. They have nothing to play for other than
except us.
Yeah, other than to be a spoiler for our seeding hopes. Right now Denver's sitting at the number 2 seed because the Patriots are a game ahead of us at 11-2. But when we beat the Raiders, we're going to take over that. It's going to go back and forth between us and the Patriots. But, Sean Payton was quoted in one of his press conferences saying, no, we're eyeing that number 1 seed. We want that number 1 seed. We want that bye week. So I don't feel like the Chargers are going to be the game that we're going to lose. If it's going to be a game that we're going to lose, it's going to be against the Chiefs. And I hate saying that because I want to sweep them and I want to shut Chiefs Kingdom up. But that's kind of where my thought is if it's going to be anything, it's going to be that stupid Chiefs game.
But that's why we talk about the game. We all have our own opinions, that's why we all talk about it. Joe, get us some comments and then I'll get us into the memory.
Yeah. And last week I had said that they're going to lose to Green Bay. So, I was kind of begrudgingly about that, but then Tim said, to the Chargers, so that's what I was going to roll with. And before that, the Broncos are also undefeated at home. No other team is undefeated at home this year. So.
0.
Yeah.
0 teams besides us. Go ahead, Joe.
Suck it, Kansas City.
We got Biggie Bronco. He said, "What's up, everybody? Hey, what's up?" He said, "I hope everybody had a good day." Sure did. Not bad day at all. I got home about an hour ago. Now I'm getting dressed. About to go pick up the girls and get us something to eat. Nice. I need to give me something to eat after this too.
Right on. Thanks for coming through. Uncle Todd back in the house.
Who's going to Vegas? And take me with you. You need to talk to George. That's the one. Take us all with him. Shoot, even if I don't get in the game, I could watch it at the big casino pool screen.
Oh, there's somewhere to watch. There's a watch party somewhere out there.
We got Biggie Bronco again. He said the difference in this year and last year's teams is in the past, the balls bounced our way in the fourth quarter and not against us. That's pretty true. I definitely think our defense has produced a little more too, but yeah, it's definitely we've only gotten not lucky in the two games we lost on the last play of the game. So
4 points, Joe.
yeah,
That's the total amount of points that we've lost games by. And don't even get me started on the leverage call. I didn't even know leverage was a penalty. I had to look it up.
yeah.
No, what I said it. You're not gonna see that. No, actually, I gotta give credit where credit's due. I think it was George, my brother. He when I was like, when's the last time you seen that? And I was like, at least a year. And then he was like, 10 years. So then the next week, I was like, you won't see that for a decade. You know, like unless if it's for the Broncos, it's okay. You know what I mean? But go back and remember that San Francisco game, playoff game. They called leaping.
Mm-hmm.
You guys remember? Oh gosh.
Then we got Biggie Bronco. He said the Jags, if anybody. So he thinks we might lose the Jags. I hope not. Hope we beat the Jags. They don't have Travis Hunter, but they are still doing pretty good. We'll see. And then he also said, I think the refs are staying out of the Kansas City's games this year because of what's going on in baseball. The NFL don't want to get any type of rigging games in their game. So yeah,
I wish they would have thought that 5 years ago, but you know. What do you want me to say here?
Better late than never.
And just to kind of point something out to Biggie Bronco's comment there, when Denver played the Chiefs this last time and Jaquan McMillan jumped up to block the pass and then came down and sacked him, immediately Pat Mahomes got up and he was trying to call for helmet to helmet, but it's like, seriously, bro, like he's in midair. What do you want him to do?
Dude, there was a TikTok about that, and they said Joe Montana versus Patrick Mahomes, and they showed Joe Montana getting rocked by LT, rocked, and I'm talking rock in the face, like took him down, and Joe Montana came back up and ran the play, and then they showed Mahomes exactly the play you're talking about, and he's all looking around like there's a difference there. Let's
Thank you guys for all the comments out there. Keep them rolling.
What do you say this? Yeah, please comment on everything, guys. But right now, let's get into some Mile High memories. So this right here, fellas, is basically we all give a shout out to somebody that made a huge impact, retired player from any Colorado organization, someone that did whatever it took to either get to a Super Bowl, a finals, Stanley Cup, even if they didn't get there and they just stood there the whole time, is what we're talking about. Joe, I'm starting this one off with you, brother. Go ahead.
All right, so my head memory is out to another Nugget again, deceased Nugget. He was 19. He was a 1991 fourth overall draft pick to the Nuggets. Came out of Georgetown. He didn't even come over here to play basketball. He came over here to be a doctor. But when he went to Georgetown University, John Thompson seen the 7'2" frame and said, "I need you to play for me," and convinced him to play. So my Maha memory is going to be out to Dikembe Mutombo. He passed away a couple years ago. I had it all right here. October 12th, 2022. So rest in peace to Mutombo. But I got to see a lot of his games too. Like I said, I went to a lot of games when we were younger, and one thing I always remember is in the Denver Nuggets intro when they announced him on the opening lineups, they would always say his whole name. I tried to look for a video, but I got someone here who knows all his names. So what is that?
Dikembe Mutombo, Alonzo Palonzo, Jean-Jacques Wa Mutombo.
There we go. But when they did it in the announcement, oh man, that would be so hyped. So
Tim, how many times did you have to practice that in the mirror before you got it right?
Hey, in all honesty, Joe just called me because I can't find his name. Call me a liar, Joe. I go,
yeah.
Dikembe Mutombo, Alonzo Palonzo, Jean-Jacques Wa Mutombo. Bro, I'm not even lying. And he goes, all right, you can say it. So, yeah. I remember that. Don't call me out on that, Rob.
I remember the Jean-Jacques Mutombo. I remember that, but I didn't remember the other ones. So, but he said
I
he had
didn't
a
even
shirt.
know. I didn't even know he had that many names.
Hey, we're old, Rob.
Yeah.
Okay, we're old. All right, bro.
All right, anybody else? Go ahead. Anybody else want to speak on that? And then I'll give a couple of his stats afterwards.
Oh man, what I'll say about Mutombo is what I will always and forever remember. He used to play 5 games in the first playoff run. Mm-hmm. We played Seattle Supersonics. George Karl was the head coach of that team. We went down 2-0, came back, won it 3-2, and Dikembe Mutombo was on the ground with that ball, and we finally won a playoff series.
Mm-hmm.
You got anything to say, Rob?
I mean, I'm not a big basketball fan, unfortunately. I'm just barely going to be turning 40 this next year. When I was a kid, it was, the Chicago Bulls because of Michael Jordan. It was the Magic because of Shaq. And then there was Kobe and the Lakers, and and so that was my childhood basketball. As far as that's about as far as I went. Once I started watching football and started getting in depth with the Broncos, that's just kind of where my heart stuck. I played 4 years of high school football, tried to play in the college here where I live, but unfortunately they didn't deem me big enough to play, which I thought was a bunch of BS. But it is what it is, and yeah, I mean, I do remember Mutombo just because of the name, but yeah, not in my house there, right?
Yeah.
But that's about as far as my basketball background goes.
Not a problem. Not a problem, Rob. Not a problem. I told Joe not to go basketball, bro. I'm just kidding.
But yeah, so he was born June 25th, 1966 in Kinshasa, Congo. He had 9 siblings. In 1987 he moved over here at 21 years old. Like I said, he was going to go to Georgetown to be a doctor. And like I said, John Thompson seen him, and he was like, "No, man, I need you to come play for our basketball team. So I'm gonna make you a star." And so he played 3 seasons there, and he almost spoke no English when he first started. He first year at Georgetown, he had a game with 12 blocks. They the fans made a row called rejection row right underneath the basket, and they put up a big hand that just waved, and that's probably where Mutombo got it from. But he was also teammates with Alonzo Mourning, so that was definitely a tough paint down there with those 2 guys. 2 times Big East Defensive Player of the Year in 1990 and 91. In 90, he shared it with Alonzo Mourning. They said he was a 1991 fourth overall pick to the Nuggets, All-Star in his rookie season. And then, yeah, like Tim said, in the 93-94 season, we went 42-4, beat the Sonics after going down 0-2. We lost the Jazz the next series 4-3, so we did put up a fight. And then in 94-95 season, he made his second All-Star game. He was NBA Defensive Player of the Year. Bernie Bickerstaff, when he left the Nuggets, he wanted like a 10-year contract, and the Nuggets just weren't going to do that.
Yeah, Bickerstaff was getting greedy over there.
Yeah.
If I can bring up one thing, I love Mutombo, okay, first of all. But I think it was the All-Star game or something like that, and he told Jordan, "You've never dunked on me."
Yeah.
And Jordan, what? What do you mean?
Got him with the Hawks.
And then like 2 weeks later, I think he was playing what?
The Hawks.
The Hawks, yeah. And Jordan came over,
Got
and
him.
I mean, bro, this is my high memories. But let's be real, Mutombo, for everyone that he blocked, dude, Jordan just flew over that dude. I don't even know how that's
And then
capable.
Jordan gave him the finger.
Yeah.
Uh, Another one back in this was back at McNichols. I don't know what season, but he told Mutombo, "Hey Mutombo, this is for you," and he shot a free throw with his eyes closed.
With his eyes closed, yep,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
remember that.
yeah. So
Um,
Bernie
let's get
Bickerstaff
on
said
to
that.
the next mile high memory.
I
Rob,
got a
it's
couple.
up to you. Do you want to go
I
first?
got a couple more. I got a couple more here.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
My
So
bad.
Bickerstaff said that was his biggest regret. He reached the NBA Finals in 2002 with the Philadelphia 76ers
My
and
bad.
AI. And he was a 8-time All-Star, 4-time Defensive Player of the Year, 3-time first-team defensive player, first-team defense, 2-time rebounding leader, 3-time shot blocker, and his 55 is retired with the Nuggets and the Hawks, and he was inducted in the Hall of Fame in 2015.
Nice. My bad, Joe. I didn't mean to
You're
rush you,
good.
bro.
You're good.
Yeah, that man, Mutombo was. I mean, if he can get that with two teams, you know what I mean? Like that's kind of like a Manning type thing if you go to football, right? Colts and Broncos. You know what I mean? That's awesome.
And
Rob, do you want to go next or do you want me to go?
Yeah, no, I can go. So I'm gonna read just some highlights before I say who it is, because
All
I'm
right.
sure just after a few highlights, y'all know who I'm talking about.
you got it.
He was a running back for Denver between 95 and 2001. He was a Super Bowl MVP. He was a back-to-back Super Bowl champion with the Broncos, and he was an NFL MVP as well in 1998. So I'm sure y'all could figure out who I'm talking about. I'm talking about the one, the only Terrell Davis. Terrell
Oh
Davis
yeah, that's
was
better, Joe. Yeah, that one's better.
Terrell Davis was the first running back that actually like really caught my attention, and I just loved watching the guy play every single week. Aside from those highlights, he was a two-time NFL Offensive Player of the Year in '96 and '98. He was a three-time Pro Bowl and a three-time first-team All-Pro in the NFL. He was inducted into the Broncos Ring of Fame, and he was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2017. And a lot of people before Terrell Davis was inducted into the Hall of Fame, they thought he shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame because he only played
A short
um,
career.
for a short period of time. But his career stats, and I'm just gonna kind of run through these as quick as I can here. But regular season, for the years that he played, he had 7,607 rushing yards. He had 60 rushing touchdowns, 1,280 receiving yards, and 5 receiving touchdowns. And when you look at the span of a career, that may not seem like a lot, but wait, there's more. In the playoffs, he was one of the greatest playoff running backs to have ever played the game. He had 1,140 rushing yards in just 8 playoff games. In just 8 games, he had almost 1,200 yards in 8 games. He had 12 rushing touchdowns, and he averaged 142 and a half yards per playoff game. That's number one in NFL history.
There's more.
Wait. And kind of something else that I want to point out is, in interviews with John Elway, even John Elway has been quoted as saying, if it wasn't for Terrell Davis, he wouldn't have gotten those Super Bowl rings, because in those 2 games against the Packers and the Falcons, Terrell Davis was a very important piece of the game plan. And I forget which game it was. I think it was the one against the Packers. Terrell Davis unfortunately had a very bad
That was Packers.
migraine issues.
That was Packers.
And in the game, you go back and you watch the film. Terrell Davis comes off the field and he's like, "Coach, I can't see." Shanahan goes, "It's okay, you don't have to see." He goes, "If you're not in, they're not gonna think you're not getting the ball." So I mean, for a dude that can't see to run out there on the field and just fake the handoff and just basically dive forward, like that says a lot about him as a player. And I have something here that I kind of want to show off for just a second here. It's kind of a big thing here, but I have an autographed. I don't know. Can you see it?
Yeah,
Oh,
An
yeah.
autographed. Where am I going? I
TD.
gotta go this way.
You're good.
Autographed Terrell Davis jersey that I have in a frame. I just haven't figured out where to hang it up. And probably after this season, I'll do some rearranging. And but this is kind of one of my prized possessions that a buddy of mine who is actually a Raiders fan, believe it or not, um, actually gave it to me because he won it in some auction, and he's like, I'm not a Broncos fan. He's like, you take it. So super appreciative of that. But again, Terrell Davis, in my opinion, is one of the greatest NFL running backs to have ever played the game. I don't care how long or how short his career was. The man just had a nose for ball. And, everybody knows like Terrell Davis was basically on the bubble with Denver. And he made a special teams play. I think they were playing in Japan, if I
Yep.
remember
Oh,
correctly.
you took
They
mine.
were.
You took mine. Hey,
And I mean, from that point forward, somebody was like, who is number 30?
well, on that
And
point, do you know the backstory to that? He wanted to go home. He ate like 20 hot dogs and called his mom and was like, I'm done. And so he's full of hot dogs in Japan, and they're like, get in there. And he's like, bam.
yeah,
And the rest is history.
yeah, he made an incredible special teams tackle, and like Tim said, the rest is history. But that is, I mean, I could ramble on about Terrell Davis for who knows how long, but he's just he's such an awesome human being, even just off the field. He's done tons of stuff for the Denver community, both when he was in the league and not in the league. He's an awesome dude all around. I can't say enough nice things about the guy. I've never met him, unfortunately. I would love to meet him one day. But he was
I
just.
did. I did. I don't mean to cut you off, but if
No,
I
you're
can
good.
touch down on a little TD, Joe, do you mind?
Go ahead.
Okay. So after that first Super Bowl win, he was on TV Guide. For all you younger people, a TV Guide used to tell you what channel a program was on, okay? And then they would have somebody on the cover. Terrell Davis was on that cover, and we were, I want to say Glenwood Springs, and he was in front of me in the line, and I saw the thing. Terrell Davis was in front of me, and I go, TV Guide was there, took it off, and I was in awe. I mean, a lot of people look at someone like a big actor like Brad Pitt or like actress like Reese Witherspoon, whoever, big pop stars, whatever. That's my feeling with Terrell Davis. I was like, and he literally just grabbed it. I had nothing to sign with, and he opened up because it was the aisle where the checkout aisle. There was a little Sharpie there, and he opened it up and he signed the front cover of the TV Guide for me, man. I was like 14 years old, and I was
Dude,
with
that's wild.
yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, man. To this day, I don't have it. Have no clue where it ever went. That's horrible of me. I know. But the memory, right? Mile high memories. This is what we're at. So that's my mile high memory about TD. What say you, Joe?
Oh man, I mean, you guys said it all. Like I said, his backstory is kind of crazy. I'll kind of run down his backstory, and that kind of will lead into like how he is just that type of player and that type of person. He was born 10/28, 1972. Played fullback in high school in like a 3-back system. He went to play baseball at Long Beach State. He didn't even go to play football. His brother was playing football on the football team and got him on the team. And then he played football. He got some good a good season, and then the football program there closed down, and he was able to transfer to Georgia, and from there he backed up Garrison Hurst. So definitely an NFL legend. Once Garrison Hurst left, he had 2 years at Georgia where he excelled and he had an injury his senior year, and he got labeled as injury prone, so it definitely hurt his draft stock. But in
Well, his college football coach fucking hated his guts. Let's say that. Like,
Yeah,
That
Georgia
there
Scott.
was
Yeah,
there were button heads, but continue, Joe. Go ahead.
Kirby Smart, I think it was.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Not a fan of him either. Champ Bailey, I'm surprised he went there, but let's keep going. So yeah, he was a sixth round draft pick to the Broncos in 1995. When he entered camp, he was a sixth string running back. So that was not. That's why ate all the hot dogs. He was like, man, I'm not going to get no playing time. Let me just go ahead and figure something else out. So then once he made that play, that changed everything. And from there on, man, he was a Denver legend. Like I said, he made the brought that Mile High salute, and man, he's been a part of our community ever since. He's up at CSU as an ambassador up there. So he's still all around in the community. So definitely a good call there, Rob.
Yeah, definitely. And you know what? To this day, we still do what? The
Mm-hmm.
Mile High salute, man.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna get into mine real quick. This is one of the best. I'm gonna kind of do it how Rob did. I'm gonna say a couple things, and let's see who could come up with it. And anyone in the comments, please do this. Drafted, I believe, in '96. I don't have all the stats in front of me, but 96, I believe. Great linebacker coming out of Pennsylvania. And you know what? A lot of people are not gonna know this stat. I didn't look it up. I didn't know. I've known this since the career of when he got drafted by the Broncos. He was drafted over Ray Lewis, which multiple players were. So it wasn't like he was one pick ahead. I think Ray Lewis was more down in the draft. I'm talking about a linebacker that won 2 Super Bowls with us named John Mobley. John Mobley might have had a short career, not as long as Ray Lewis's. Maybe not an impactful in the NFL mind. But what I will say is John Mobley had a Bronco country impact. Without him, we're not winning those Super Bowls. This dude started off, I believe, at left outside.
Linebacker.
Yeah, linebacker, yeah. And then had to go play right, which is apples and oranges. To anyone that hasn't played football, right side and left side of the field is completely different. He even played middle. So he played all 3 linebacker positions to the T. No matter where you put him, he's good. The reason you put him on the left is because that cornerback over there needs a little help. The reason you put him on the right is because they're running over to the right a little bit. The reason you put him in the middle is because this running back's coming after you. Any linebacker position that he played, gentlemen, I believe he did it to the best of his ability. He might have had a shorter career, but he got 2 Super Bowls. It is something to say you get drafted over Ray Lewis. Ray Lewis is one of the best linebackers, top 3 in my mind. I'm not taking anything away from Ray. But what an accomplishment John Mobley had. Joe, you want to go next, or Rob? Go ahead. Either one of you guys.
Go ahead, Rob.
So I remember John Mobley. I don't remember as many stats as Tim does. So I just did kind of a quick search while you were talking there, Tim.
No
But
problem.
with his career stats, he played 96 career games, had 606 total tackles. He had 10 sacks, 9 forced fumbles, 5 fumble recoveries, 5 interceptions, and 44 passes defended. He again, like Tim said, he was a 2-time Super Bowl champion. He was a first team All Pro in '97. He was a Pro Bowl selection in '97, and he was elected to the Broncos Ring of Fame in 2018. I don't believe he's been elected into the Hall of Fame quite yet, but maybe one day. But yeah, I mean, John Mobley was a linebacker that had cornerback speed. He ran a 4.5 40, I think.
Damn.
Which is, yeah, like he could haul. And he's in the same category, of Atwater, Romanowski, Neil Smith, players like that. And he was just a baller on defense. So I agree with you. I think he was another in integral piece of that Broncos defense in that 97, 98, back-to-back Super Bowl run. But yeah, I think that's a great player to spotlight. I think that was a good pick, Tim.
Thank you very much.
Oh yeah.
I know Joe's gonna throw some stuff out there, so go ahead, Joe.
No, you guys ran through a lot of stuff. I'm just gonna give his backstory. Do you know who he's a cousin of?
I do
A
not.
basketball player. Think of a Mobley, basketball player.
Oh, dude.
Katino Mobley. He's cousin of Katino Mobley. Played with Houston.
Okay. You put me on the spot. My brain just went.
Yeah. But yeah, he was born October 10th, 1973 in Chester, Pennsylvania. He only got through 3 years of high school. His dad had a stroke and he went to live with his mom, and his mom forced him to leave high school to support his family. So he lived in his car for about a year before a friend's family took him in.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so this was in 1991. He went to Kutztown University in Pennsylvania because he didn't have the academic performance to get to a D1 school.
Well, he did high school in Pennsylvania as well.
Yeah. So he was born and raised in Pennsylvania.
Yeah. My bad.
Oh yeah, you're good. And then he played football there for a year, and then the coach got fired because of some kind of like academic academic mess around, and so he didn't get to play his second year, but he played the next year, 94-95 season, and that was a Division II school, and because of his talent, he was able to get an invitation to the Senior Bowl, and that's where he got noticed because, like I said, his speed and his athletic ability was just top notch, and that's what got him noticed by everybody and put his name on the map. And he was only the third player from Kutztown to ever make the NFL, and the highest one to get drafted. So
quick question, Joe, because I honestly don't know this. Or Rob, is he in the Ring of Fame?
Yeah.
Yes.
He is in the Ring of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Well, we all had our Mile High memories. I love how we do that segment because we go back into it, right? We talk about players that, impacted some. I know me and Joe are considered the older ones of the program, but Rob, you're not too far behind us. You're like 2.5 years, man. So don't act like you're young over there, bro. I'm gonna get us into this, Joe. Let's unless you want to do a quick comment, and then I can pull it up.
We got a comment here. We got Big E Bronco. He said, I've been telling everybody for the last 2 years, Kansas City is nothing but a 500 team or just above at the NFL. If the NFL would stay out of the games, and yeah, I mean, they aren't as good as their record showed the last couple of years. So, and they haven't really lost too much either. So they did have some injuries, but I mean, everybody has to play with injuries, so that's not it's not necessarily an excuse.
All right, I'll go ahead.
Sorry,
Rob.
I know. I just wanted to piggyback off of that. There was Aqib Talib's podcast with what's his bucket? Skip Bayless.
I hate him. I can't stand him.
Skip Bayless is a diehard Cowboys fan, and and he's sitting there saying that Denver's hanging on the edge of the cliff, but yet last year when Kansas City was winning, one games by 1 point, one score game, whatever, they were, Kansas City's the greatest thing since sliced bread. But you know what? I just say, let the haters keep hating, and Denver's just going to keep on winning. Keep that train rolling.
Well, on that note, how you did that, did you see what Collinsworth did when Bo Nix was sliding off and almost had his knee down through the touchdown in the end zone? He goes, "This is what I've been talking about all year." I don't know exactly how he worded it, but he's giving Bo Nix props. And then at the end of it, he goes, "That's something you see out of Patrick Mahomes." Really, dude? Bo Nix made the play, and Kansas City's not in the field, and you're still going to talk about Patrick Mahomes? Come on. So let's boycott Collinsworth. Let's put some props on it. All right, here we're back. Let's put some props on it. So Rob, since you're our guest, I'm gonna let you go first. What single player that you want to give props on it to? What single player stood out more? It doesn't necessarily have to be a Bronco player. You can go as, you can do whatever you want. But in your mind, I feel like we're on a Bronco week, but you know, however you want to do it. What single player are you going to put some props on it for?
Uh, um, honestly, and it's gonna sound kind of cliche, but I want to put props on it for Bo Nix. Bo Nix has taken the heat, taken the criticism, and he's pulled the team together and found a way to win. Like I was saying earlier in the segment, he's still developing, he's still learning, but Bo Nix has that leadership mentality. And you could see that in his first season when, him and Sean Payton got into it on the sideline. Um, you know, the name that shall not be mentioned that wore the number 3 jersey for us, which was the biggest waste of money that I think Denver has ever done
We'll just
as
call him
far as
Voldemort.
signing. Yeah, Voldemort, whatever. Um, you know, when Sean Payton would get on his ass about stuff, he would just shut down. And Bo Nix, granted, like, okay, you're the head coach, but this is what I saw. This is, why I did this. Like, stop jumping my ass. Like, I'm learning. And I think Sean Payton hopefully is letting that leash go and letting Bo, be Bo. He's letting him go out there and control the offense. Um, you know, a couple stats that I've seen is, Bo Nix has better stats than Peyton Manning in his first 20 something games, better stats than John Elway in his first 20 something games. And those shoes are not, those are big shoes to fill. And I think over time, I think Bo Nix will be one of the greatest NFL players, one of the NFL quarterbacks. And I pray that he's going to be with Denver until he retires. He is taking it in stride week after week. He's keeping his nose to the grindstone, and he's going out there and he's producing, and he's pulling up the wins. I mean, again, a 9-game win streak. Yeah, they haven't been pretty. Yeah, we haven't been blowing teams out. I'm hoping that from here on out, Denver's offense gets rolling. We start scoring some points because let's be honest, if Denver has to play the Buffalo Bills in the playoffs, they're scoring 30, 40 points a game, consistently. I think our defense is gonna be consistent throughout the rest of the regular season into the playoffs. But I think Bo is, and I believe that Bo is going to get that offense shored up and hopefully start knocking some points down on the scoreboard. So my props is gonna go to Bo Nix.
There you go. There you go. Joe, you or me, brother? It's up to you.
Oh, go ahead.
All right. So I kind of don't want to do this because I wanted to bring it up later, but let's do it now because I can see the time. Jamal Murray, 50 plus, baby. Oh, I got you. I got you. I got you.
See, Joe, you shouldn't have let him go first. You shouldn't have let him go first.
That's a victory right there in its own. I finally got him before he got me. This guy gets everybody. He's got me, Johnny, George, you name it, man. This guy always pulling it out. But I'm gonna put it on for Murray for stepping up. This guy the game started off a little bit slow. And it's like no one's cutting in, and he's like, oh well, let me shoot this ball again. Wow. What does he do? Bam. He might not always be everyone's favorite Nugget because Joker. Okay, I get it. You got Brown, on an injury. You got Gordon on an injury. Saying that, he's like, we got to make a statement. He stepped up last night, and he had to do what he had to do. So Jamal Murray, I'm gonna put some mad props on you. 50 plus. I think that was the third time he did that. I don't have the stats, but man, what an amazing game and a percentage on top of that.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna put some props on it for Jamal Murray. I don't mean to take you out, Joe, but you know what? It kind of gives me a good feeling because you've been robbing me for a long time now. Okay.
He had a good game, and man, it was a good pick. He wasn't even we weren't even sure if he was going to play 2 hours before the game. He was questionable.
Absolutely.
So yeah. But I got another one though. I always have a backup.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah. So I'm gonna put my props on it for the University of Colorado men's basketball team.
Oh,
They have been kicking some butt. They're undefeated. 8-0. I want to say they're going to play CSU Saturday or Sunday. I want to get there and see a game because they got this big, tall African dude that is throwing it down and playing really crazy basketball. So I want to get up there and check them out and
it's
see them.
One phone call away. I just got to call Big Ed. He'll hook us up with some tickets. So
yeah, it's not hard to get. It's usually not hard to get tickets up there, but yeah, I got to get there and see a game and see them in person because me and my dad usually get up there once or at least once every 2 years. But yeah, it's I want to get up there and see them in person and catch them and see how good they are in real life. So yeah, props on it to the University of Colorado men's basketball team.
I like that. Joe, can you pull up the college real quick?
No.
Let
me a second though. I was just getting it all set up.
So Rob, we got a bracket coming out. I mean, for the playoff contention for college football. And for everybody out there that knows, I'm a huge Ohio State fan. Ohio State is number one. So as soon as I don't think Joe wants to pull it up because he doesn't want to admit Ohio State's number one, but we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, Ohio State's number one. I was wrong. Michigan lost.
Well, now hold on. You weren't just wrong. George was wrong. Dak was wrong. Johnny was wrong. Let's throw a lot of people out on the network under the bus because Ohio State is number one.
And I won't. I'm retiring that nickname for Ryan Day. I'll call him by his name. He earned it. So
because they beat Michigan.
Yeah,
so
at Michigan.
At Michigan. Rob, I'm not trying to throw you on the spot, bro. Do you have anything to say about this bracket here?
Well, considering I'm on my phone, I got to get real close to try to see this.
So you got Ohio State 1, Georgia 4, right?
They're the two buys. Well, they're one of the Ohio State and Indiana are buys right now, and Georgia and Texas A&M are buys. And then you got OU and Notre Dame playing each other in the first round. You got Oregon and Alabama playing each other in the first round. You got Texas Tech and Tulane playing each other, and Ole Miss and Miami playing each other in the first round.
What's Ohio State's record and Georgia's record?
We're undefeated. Ohio State's undefeated and Indiana's undefeated.
Yeah, and Georgia's lost one.
Oh, Georgia, he said. Georgia. Yeah.
Mm.
So we don't have to go over the whole bracket, fellas. I guess my main question here, we're going to go in the championships. So Ohio State's got everybody, Joe, including yourself, told me Ohio State's going to lose against Michigan. That's 5 straight years. We pulled it out. We're undefeated. We're going into the Big Ten championship. So my question is not about this whole bracket. This is to each and one of you. My question is, Ohio State has to play Indiana for the Big Ten championship. And then in the playoff bracket, if this stays the same, won't play each other until the Natty. So who pulls off the Big Ten championship? This is my question. Go ahead, Rob.
Well, like I said, I don't know much about, college basketball.
No, football. This is football. College football.
This is football. I thought you said it was basketball.
No. This is college football. Ohio State versus Indiana, 1 and 2 in the rankings going into the Big Ten championship. Who wins?
Well, I hate to say it, but I'd have to lean Ohio State.
I knew he was a good guy. I
mean, just because of the fact that they're undefeated, but again, college football, I mean, I like watching it, but trying to follow the brackets and trying to figure out who's going to win, I mean, that's worse than figuring out who's going to win in the NFL.
Oh, you're not wrong. You're not wrong there. So, Joe, I'll pull it to you. Big Ten only. The bracket's there. I just wanted to show it because if you look at the number one, you know what I mean? That's Ohio State. Joe, who's winning the Big Ten championship? Ohio State or Indiana?
I'm gonna have to go with Indiana. They're on a Cinderella season, man. They have everything going for them. They have nothing to lose. If the quarterback beats Ohio State in the Big Ten championship, you can almost just put that Heisman right on him. He'll be guaranteed almost the Heisman. So they got a lot to play for. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Indiana. You think I'm gonna go with Ohio State? Man, I'm sticking without not going with Ohio State.
Yeah. What's gonna happen at the end of the year when we get back-to-back natties? You know
So
what I mean?
Joe's got the hater pick. Joe's got the hater pick.
I'm not a big Ohio State fan.
But Johnny, Jay, George, Dak, all of them, bro. They all hate against Ohio State.
You know,
Rob, stick with me, bro. He said Ohio State, you can't take it back. I already clipped it.
One thing I'll say is Maurice Claret said that the Broncos contacted him and he might come back for a weekend. So I'm happy about that. There you go. That's the Ohio State Buckeye for you.
Whatever. Fourth and forecast right here. I like that one, Joe. You know, we always got to go back and forth. We put Rob in the middle. Poor Rob. You know what I mean? Fourth and forecast. First thing I wanted to start off. I mean, this is always going to be predictions. I was going to talk about Murray, but I already put him and put some props on it, so we'll scratch that. Have you guys heard about this Elway Netflix documentary?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet.
It's not out yet. I think it's December 22nd. Or did it drop?
Maybe.
I'm not sure.
It hasn't came out yet. But if you saw the trailer, man, they're doing what was it called? The Last Dance for Jordan. They're doing that for Elway right now. So, as Bronco fans, I'll start with you, Rob. That's a huge deal for somebody that played in Denver, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm sure they're going to get into, his entire career. The one thing that sticks out in my mind from John Elway joining the Broncos is, when John Elway originally got drafted, he got drafted by the Baltimore Colts.
Didn't want to go.
And he flat out said, "I'm not playing for you guys." And he went to go play baseball. Mm-hmm. And so he basically strong-armed the Colts into trading him to the Broncos. And it's the best thing that could have ever happened to Denver, in my opinion. So, to see the fruits of that trade and the fruits of that labor, to winning back-to-back Super Bowls in 97, 98, I mean, it speaks volumes. And again, I'm sure there's going to be stuff in there that we didn't know about John Elway. Hopefully none of it's bad, but at the same time, John Elway has been I use the same word, an integral part of the Broncos organization, from player to GM to, everything else he does behind the scenes. I believe it was John Elway that got Peyton Manning to come play for Denver and get us another Super Bowl. So not only does John Elway have back-to-back Super Bowls as a player, but he has a Super Bowl as on the staff, as a
president.
RIP to Pat Bowlen. He was one of the greatest, one of the greatest owners of an NFL team, in my opinion. That I can remember. Now we've got the Penner Group ownership group, and they're just, in my opinion, doing a bang up job with the Denver Broncos. I mean, they've replaced the field at least 3 or 4 times just this year alone. So they're definitely
Walmart money, baby.
Hey, that's what I keep saying. We got Walmart money, and hey, I shop at Walmart all the time. So take my money. But I think John Elway again has been an integral part. from player all the way up to GM and beyond. And I hope it does him, good having that documentary come out. I hope they did right by him.
What do you think, Joe?
Yeah, I'll be excited to check it out. The one negative thing I know about John Elway is he married a Raiders cheerleader, but teach their own, But yeah, I mean, I'll definitely be interested to check it out and see what they show about him. There's always good to learn a little bit more of the backstory about somebody's life and the things they go through. So yeah, I definitely like to check it out. And I mean, he definitely did pretty good with the Broncos after post playing career. So yeah, I'll definitely be excited to check it out.
Well, you know what? If I can say something, it's gonna go back to The Last Dance. We've all watched that Jordan documentary, right?
Mm-hmm.
They dug
Hey Tim,
into some.
you might want to check the comments, brother.
Why? What's that?
You got somebody saying hi, Dad.
Pull it up, Joe. Go ahead. Ah, my Nevaeh. Hi, Dad. That's my oldest, my 21. She just started a new job this week. Super proud of her. Love you, princess. With all my heart. What I will say, going back, dude, they dug in. That documentary showed how people view Jordan because they wanted his downfall and the rumors that spread around. They showed all his achievements, obviously, but they made it where, like, Jordan, no matter what, was going to be Jordan. So I believe Netflix is going to do Elway right. And despite, because the trailer kind of showed him struggling with his wife and his daughter, because he was a contender, he was a winner.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see how that leads out. It's not like I want to be a nosy fan and be like, oh, what did Elway do behind the scenes? We might be more fortunate than them as Bronco fans than Elway family. I don't want to say that, but dude was a winner and wanted to win all the time.
So my dad used to work at the Omni Hotel up by the Flatirons Mall, and they used to do a John Elway Celebrity Golf Classic up there. And man, he'd bring in a lot of different celebrities. We got to see Michael Jordan up there one year. I can't remember who he was playing with, but Michael walked literally like right in front of us. We could have reached out and touched him. No security holding us back or nothing like that. Homer had his two nephews out here from Chicago, and they were like, just their eyes are so so big when he walked by us. So that was always fun. John Elway, you got to see a lot of the different players because you can just walk around, the different holes. And yeah, it was cool seeing him. Charles Barkley bumped into Drew and I almost wanted to say something to him. So, yeah.
Dude, I painted Alfred Williams' hand one time, and I shook his hand, and it was like a freaking bear claw, dude. I'm 5'11". I'm not a big dude, but I'm not a small guy. He made me feel like I was like
That's Big Al.
Yeah. Do you want to do comments, or do you want me to get into the rest of the four?
Let's see. I think there's only one comment. It's the guy Sean. I just met him today. He said, "Nice Bronco flag." That's who I bought.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah, so I brought the Bronco flag for you. He said, "I'll check it out." So thank you for checking this out, man. And yeah, we can move on. You want to do the Avalanche?
Yeah, let's do Avs, Nuggets, and then we'll end it with the Broncos, brother.
Cool.
To my daughter Nevaeh, once again, love you. Thank you for stopping in. Bronco Rob, thank you. We're like, look at the comments. Because me and Rob talked we had a brief 2 minutes between pregame and play-by-play, and I told him how many daughters I have. And he's like, what? So yeah, I got 4 beautiful ones, man, and I love them all with all my heart. That's my oldest. Thank you for coming in.
So yeah, the Avalanche, they lost tonight to the Islanders 6-3. It was a 5:00 game, so it was an earlier game. So yeah, they lost today. They were on a streak though. They're just whooping everybody. So they'll get back on it though. We play the Rangers on Saturday at 10:30. So that's an early game on Saturday in New York, and it's away at New York. I definitely think they're still gonna rebound. I'm gonna call it a 5-3 game for the Avalanche.
I'm gonna say going into Rangers that early after getting took the way we did. I'm gonna go 4-1.
Cool.
What about you, Rob?
Again, hockey is not my forte. I didn't
Just say
actually
it's
get in.
just say it's score, bro. Whatever you feel.
I'll say 3-1.
There you go.
There you go.
And then
I didn't get into hockey until the Vegas Knights made the Stanley Cup playoffs.
yeah.
And and then I was like, damn, like I need to start watching hockey. But that lasted like 1 or 2 years, and I was like, meh.
Yeah.
Well,
Then,
just to let you know here, me and Joe, we go all sports. Even though the Rockies suck, we still semi follow them.
no, we don't. No.
That's our curse in this world, right, Joe?
We don't follow them. Nope, I don't. I'll if I go to a game, I'm drinking or enjoying the scenery. I'm not.
Come on,
really
bro.
watching.
Trying to make it sound good. Come on,
And
Joe.
I can't make the Rockies sound good. They're horrible. Oh my god, they're horrible.
They need Walmart. Or you know what they need? Walmart ownership.
Yeah, they need. Yeah, we need some of that Walmart money there.
Hey, y'all might disown me, but when it comes to baseball, I'm actually a Yankees fan.
Dude, I'm actually a huge Red Sox fan because before the Rockies were here, I used to watch the ESPN games with my dad, and we used to watch the Red Sox play. And so when the Rockies came along, it was kind of like, they're Colorado, but to this dying day, I'm actually a Red Sox fan. So me and you don't get along during baseball season, bro.
Yep. And then the next the Avalanche play Sunday against the Flyers away again. So we'll see how that comes back to back. Another 11 o'clock. That's 2 straight early games. So
yeah, exactly. All right, pull that Nuggets one up, Joe.
I got you.
Rob, glad to have you here, man.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it, man. It's been a good time. Like I said, I'm mainly Broncos focused, but it's nice to kind of see that you guys kind of cover a little bit of everything.
Yes, sir, man. Nothing but love, man.
All right, so we got the Nuggets. They won last night.
Murray had 50.
Yeah. And then tomorrow we play the Hawks away again. I mean, we should beat the Hawks. Trae Young is still doing good, but I mean,
he's not. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Your turn.
He's Trae Young. I'm not gonna. He's got to. I haven't been really watching him, but I mean, we'll see how they do. I definitely think the Nuggets shouldn't have a problem in beating the Hawks, but we've kind of had some up and downs a little bit in a couple games these last 2 weeks, so we'll see. I definitely if I'm throwing a score out there, I'll go like 110 to 99. Nuggets win.
Damn, that's a little closer than I thought you would go. I'm gonna go 119 to 98.
Okay.
Rob, I know you might not be.
I'll take.
Just throw, because if you beat us both, we're gonna give you props. We're gonna clip it and say Rob was right.
I'll go on the lower side. I'll say 106 to 90.
Cool.
All right.
That's a good one. And then the next day, the Nugs will play the Hornets away again, 4:00. I mean, we should definitely win that too. LaMelo Ball is going to be screaming for the ball a lot because he just thinks that his teammates don't pass him the ball enough. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, we should definitely get the win there too.
Can I just say this schedule right now does not allow any Nuggets player to go out and club, go to a strip club, have some drinks or nothing like it. This is.
Tim, you don't think they do?
If that's daytime.
These guys, dude. Some of these stories they be telling. They said they come into the morning shoot around still in the clothes that they were wearing when they got off the plane, and come into the huddle and coach smell like alcohol and be like, man, just go home, go take a nap. Y'all better come out and whoop them tonight.
Yeah, Rodman style.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call out that game. Another one. I'm gonna go 112 to 98. I don't think either two are gonna pass 100.
Sounds good. I'm with you on that. That'd be really nice. All right. So yeah, we end up on the Broncos. going on the road to the Raiders.
All right, so this is what we're doing here, fellas. We already did our predictions for the Nuggets. We got through a lot of stuff today. Joe, as always, man, love you as a brother, man. Thank you for being here with me, Rob. It's so.
We got to do
I know,
the
I know, I know, I
Okay.
know. I'm getting into it.
Okay.
I'm just giving you guys your props. Rob, very intelligible about the Broncos. I did got to know you a little bit here over this past week. So this is what we're gonna do to end the show. We are gonna do predictions for the Vegas game because Vegas won't break us. So Bronco Rob, please tell us your prediction score and the reason why they won't break us.
Oh, prediction score. Well, I'm definitely hoping it's more than 10-7. I'm hoping I'm gonna go 27-14. And you want me to tell you why?
Yes, sir.
So one, it's the Raiders. Like they're 2-10. They're horrible. Geno Smith is playing like garbage. Their offense consists of a half-hearted effort from Genty. Their offensive line is not very good. We got 6 sacks on them last game. I'm gonna hot take it. I'm gonna say we're gonna get 7 sacks this game.
Ooh.
And I don't see, if we can contain Brock Bowers, I don't see the Raiders scoring more than 14, and that's being generous. I wanted to say 27-7, but
Good job, Joe.
I almost can guarantee that Bowers will have at least a touchdown, and somebody else will get. I'm probably Genty. But that's just kind of my belief. I hope Denver, puts the pedal to the floor and, scores and scores often. And I'm hoping this week Denver's defense will have a pick six or something like that. We've had a couple opportunities for Denver to score defensively. And, they unfortunately fell short of that. But we definitely are going to need the turnovers this week, and so that's why I'm saying 27-14. Broncos get W and go to 11-2.
You get that dub.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Mr. Medlock.
Yeah, of course. I think the Broncos are going to go in there and take care of business. Defense is going to still be rock solid like always. I definitely think our offense is going to get rolling. It may not be a crazy amount of points, but I definitely think we're going to have some good long sustained drives and put some things together that add up that help us go into Green Bay with a lot better chance of winning. And let's see, I'm going to put it at let's go 20, 21, 20. Let's go 20, 20. What was your Rob? You didn't have 24, did you?
No, I said 27-14.
Okay, I'm going 20 24. I'm going 24 or 13.
Okay, my turn.
No.
Yes, sir.
Joe. See how he always disrespects me, man? Come on. Thought we were boys, Joe.
Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
What you got, Tim?
I'm going to say we're going to shut down their offense. They're not going to get one touchdown against us. Not one. The next thing I'm going to say, I'm not extremely confident of our offense putting up mad points because we should already did that against Washington. Despite what Mariota did, quick releases, and T-Mac back, that's offensively. So you got to worry about each side a little bit. I guess my main point, I don't think that we're going to allow a touchdown. So I'm going to go 9 points for the Raiders. And I'm not going to put us high. I'm going to put us 19-9. I know that's a weird score, but field goals and one touchdown. I'm gonna go 19-9, and I hate to do that. I want us. If I'm proven wrong, believe me, I will be here next Thursday and say I was dead wrong. Broncos came out on fire. I will be the first guy to do that. But my prediction is 19-9. What do you guys think about that?
I think it's too
Like it.
low.
Yeah, I mean, I would hope our offense will score more for sure.
I hope so too. That's what I say. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But this is just how I'm kind of seeing it.
No, nothing wrong with it.
So your score once again, Rob?
27-14.
Joe?
24-13.
I got 19-9. So hopefully we're all wrong and it's just 42-0. You know what I mean? And a
Let's put up
great
them
Bronco
Madden numbers, damn it.
Yeah. In a great world, what would we have? Gentlemen, do you guys got anything to say before we close this out?
I just want to thank both of you guys for having me on the show tonight. You know, I apologize for the technical difficulties there. Hopefully, I can get that fixed before Sunday. And you know, again, Tim, Joe, appreciate both of you guys. Appreciate everybody on the Orange and Blue Network.
Yes,
To
sir.
everybody watching, we still have that Bo Nix jersey to give away. So make sure you get over to YouTube. Make sure your YouTube profile is public. Give us a subscribe. We're currently sitting at 595 subscribers. So our next giveaway after we give away the Bo Nix jersey is going to be at 750. So we got to keep that number going and keep the traction going. But again, you know, go Broncos and let's go kick that Raider ass.
What say you, Joe?
Oh yeah, same thing. I pretty much with Rob. Thanks for coming on. Shout out to everybody on the network, anybody watching. Let's get safe travels for George out there to Vegas, and you know, hopefully you make it to the game. Don't get hungover.
Don't be hanging out in the parking lot, George.
Yeah.
He's
And
gonna
then,
be parking lot pimping.
And then same thing. I just want to give a shout out to my son's friends team. They're going to be going to Florida on this weekend and spending a week down there for the national championship of football. So if anybody that's watching wants to give support them, they still need a little bit of money to get out there. Park Hill Pirates. So you just look for them. They have the Channel 7 and Channel 4 did a story on them. So if you guys just support them, they had a little thing at Cuba tonight too in Northfield. But yeah, if anybody can help them get out there and support them with some money, definitely would be appreciated. I used to be a Park Hill Pirate when I was younger, so definitely wish them guys luck. And yeah, and that, man, I'm just looking forward to this weekend to keep the streak going and come out of Vegas with the win again.
One more comment. Ed, got nothing but love for you, bro. A big Mile High salute to all you gents. It was fun. Go Broncos. Man,
Thanks for sticking around.
Got nothing but love and respect for that guy.
Yeah.
Tell you the truth. He's awesome. What I will say, he's a little bit warmer than us. You know, he got a little winter home. I want to say little. I don't mean to demean him, but like, yeah, he got his Arizona home. So he's living up the sun rays right now while we're freezing in the Bronco winter. But Ed, you deserve it. Nothing but love for you. On that note, Joe, I want to tell you, man, straight up, I love the way you support the Pee-wees, even if it's not your own, like a friend or whatever. Like the way you do that, man. We're Denver natives, man. Bronco Rob, I love the way you do the play-by-play. You're in it. Made me feel comfortable on that show, man, because I was a little worried because, you know, I'm one of those guys that jump up and down and cuss. You guys, my oldest daughter that was here on the comments, I sprained my ankle in my own home, jumping up and down to cheer the Broncos. And then had to go to the game next week with my brother George. So what you do for the play-by-play and this whole network, Joe, what you do, calling out all the kids and to support them, and then getting on this network, as I asked you, because I didn't want to do it with anybody else but you, brother. You two are huge, not just in this network, but just great human beings. I want to give all my love out to you, Bronco Rob. I won't get into specifics, but you have my heart right here for everything.
Mm-hmm.
I promise you that. And what I will say is I'm grateful for all my daughters, man. Christmas is coming up, and to be surrounded by loved ones is an awesome feeling. So, mile high salute to all you guys. Thank you for joining in, Rob. Joe, a pleasure as
Appreciate
always.
it.
Yes, like, share, and subscribe.
Like, share, and subscribe.
Turn it